Did you know that there are just 5 exercises that can help you transform your body and move like you are 20 years younger? And you can do every single one of them right at home with no equipment at all. Now, you might think that getting fit after 60 means joining a gym, working with a personal trainer, or spending money on equipment you will never use. But here is the exciting truth. The most effective exercises for rebuilding strength, improving balance, and transforming your body after 60 require nothing more than a wall, a chair, and a few minutes of your day. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly those 5 exercises, the same ones I prescribe to my physiotherapy patients every single week. And I'm going to walk you through each one step by step, so you can start today. And stay with me to the end because I am also going to share a bonus recovery tip that most people never hear about, but that my patients say made the biggest difference of all in how fast they started seeing results. Before we get into the exercises, I want you to understand something important. Because when you understand why your body is changing, the exercises stop feeling like a chore and start feeling like a solution. The process I am talking about is called sarcopenia. That is the clinical term for age-related muscle loss. It starts quietly in your 30s, picks up pace in your 50s, and by the time you reach your 60s, it can be stealing your strength, your balance, and your independence without you even realizing it. And here's the part that most people miss. It's not just about looking different or feeling weak. Sarcopenia affects the muscles that help you rise from a chair, catch yourself when you stumble, carry groceries, climb stairs, and do every little thing you rely on day after day. Think of your muscles like a suspension bridge. When the cables are strong and taut, everything holds together beautifully. When those cables start fraying and weakening, the whole structure becomes unstable, and small loads start feeling enormous. That is what is happening inside your body when sarcopenia takes hold. The good news, and I want you to really hear this, is that research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association has shown that progressive strength training, or PST, can actually reverse muscle loss at any age. Yes, even in your 70s and 80s. The exercises I am going to share with you today are built around that exact principle. They are safe, they are effective, and they are designed specifically for people over 60. Before we get started, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Number 1, the plank. The first exercise is the plank, and I want you to think of this as your foundation builder. Your core muscles, the deep stabilizers running through your abdomen, back, and pelvis, are the engine room of every single movement you make. When that engine weakens, everything else suffers. Your posture, your balance, your ability to bend and reach without discomfort. The plank trains all of those muscles simultaneously without putting any stress on your joints. To get started, come down to the floor on your hands and knees, or if a full floor plank is not comfortable for you today, do this against a wall or on your elbows on the bed. For the standard version, place your forearms flat on the floor with your elbows directly beneath your shoulders. Then step your feet back so your body forms one long straight line from your head down to your heels. Now hold that position. Breathe steadily. Do not let your hips sag toward the floor, and do not let them pike up toward the ceiling. Straight is the goal. Start with holding for just 10 to 15 seconds. Rest and repeat 3 times. As you get stronger, work your way up to 30 seconds, then 45, then a full minute. The key tip here is to actively squeeze your glutes and gently draw your belly button toward your spine while you hold. That is not just for looks. That is what actually engages the deep stabilizing muscles that protect your spine. A common mistake I see is people holding their breath and tensing their neck. Relax your jaw, keep breathing, and let your core do the work. An easier variation, do the plank standing and leaning against a wall with your forearms flat on the surface. A harder variation, add small alternating leg lifts while holding the position. Exercise number 2 is a chair-assisted hip hinge, and this one is an absolute game changer for anyone who struggles with lower back pain, stiffness when bending forward, or difficulty picking things up from the floor. The hip hinge is one of the most fundamental movement patterns in the human body, and after 60, most people have almost completely lost it. Instead of bending at the hips properly, they round their lower back, which puts enormous pressure on the spinal discs and the small joints of the lumbar spine. The chair-assisted hip hinge teaches your body to move correctly again. Stand behind the sturdy chair and lightly hold the back for support. Place your feet about hip-width apart. Now, with a soft bend in your knees and your back straight, slowly push your hips backward, as if someone had tied a rope around your hips and was gently pulling them toward the wall behind you. Your torso will naturally tip forward, and that is perfect. Go until you feel a gentle stretch to the back of your thighs. Then drive your hips forward and return to standing tall. That is 1 repetition. Aim for 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 times per day. The muscles you are targeting here are the glutes and hamstrings, the powerful posterior chain that supports your lower back and drives nearly every lower body movement. The key tip: keep your spine long and neutral throughout the entire movement. Imagine you have a broomstick running along your back. You want it to stay in contact with your head, upper back, and tailbone the whole time. The common mistake is letting the back round or the knees cave inward. Start small and slow. A few inches of hip movement is perfectly fine when you are learning. Exercise 3 is heel lifts, and do not let the simplicity of this one fool you. The calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and soleus, are what physiotherapists call the secondary heart of the body. They act as powerful pumps, squeezing blood back up from your legs toward your heart every time you take a step or rise onto your toes. After 60, calf strength tends to decline significantly, which contributes to tired, heavy legs, swelling around the ankles, and the much greater risk of losing your balance during everyday activities like walking on uneven surfaces. Heel lifts are the most direct way to train those muscles. Stand behind your chair and lightly hold the back for balance. Place your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can, then lower back down with control. Do not just drop. That lowering phase, the eccentric portion, is actually where the greatest muscle-building stimulus occurs. Take 2 full seconds to go up and 3 to 4 seconds to come back down. Start with 10 repetitions and build toward 3 sets of 15. The key tip: perform these on a slight step or a thick book for an even greater range of motion and an increased training effect. Just make sure you have something solid to hold on to. The common mistake is rushing. Bouncing up and down quickly eliminates the eccentric benefit and reduces the exercise to almost nothing. Slow and controlled is the golden rule here. An easier variation is to sit in a chair and do seated heel raises. A harder variation is to perform single-leg heel raises, which more closely mimics the demands of walking and stair climbing. Exercise 4 is the horse stance, and this is one that comes from traditional martial arts, but the physiotherapy research behind it is rock solid. The horse stance is an isometric hold, which means you are building strength by holding a position rather than moving through a range of motion. This makes it uniquely valuable for people who have knee pain, hip stiffness, or joint conditions that make dynamic exercises uncomfortable. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and turn your toes out slightly, about 30 to 45 degrees. Now slowly lower yourself into a partial squat, as if you were about to sit back onto a low stool. You do not need to go very deep. Even a mild bend in the knees, 20 to 30 degrees, is enough to begin with. Hold that position and breathe. You should feel this in your quadriceps, your inner thighs, and your glutes. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds to start, rest, and repeat 3 times. As your strength increases, work toward holding for 60 seconds or more. The muscles you are training, the quadriceps, hip abductors, and glutes, are the exact muscles that protect your knees and keep you stable when you walk on uneven ground, step off a curb, or catch yourself if you start to lose balance. The key tip is to keep your knees tracking directly over your toes throughout the hold. If your knees want to cave inward, gently press them out. The common mistake is going too deep too soon, which can place excessive stress on the knee joint. Start shallow and earn your depth over time. An easier variation is to perform this next to a wall and use light fingertip contact for balance. A harder variation is to place a resistance band just above the knees to add an extra challenge to the hip abductors. If you're still watching and this helped you, please tap the like button. It helps more people discover these exercises. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing for more simple ways to stay strong and mobile after 50. Exercise 5 is wall push-ups. And I want to reframe the way you think about this one. A lot of people dismiss wall push-ups as too easy, as a beginner exercise that real fitness involves moving past as quickly as possible. That thinking is completely wrong, especially for adults over 60. Wall push-ups train your chest, shoulders, and triceps, yes, but more importantly, they challenge the stabilizing muscles of your shoulder girdle, your core, and your wrists, all areas that tend to weaken significantly with age and that play a critical role in preventing falls and maintaining upper body function. To perform a wall push-up, stand arm's length away from a wall. Place both hands flat on the wall at shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Keep your body in one straight line from head to heels. Do not let your hips sag or your bottom stick out. Now bend your elbows and lean your chest toward the wall in a slow, controlled way. Then press back out to the starting position. That is one repetition. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions per set and 3 sets total. The key tip is to focus on pushing the wall away from you rather than just straightening your arms. That subtle shift in focus dramatically improves activation of the chest and shoulder muscles. The common mistake is allowing the elbows to flare out wide, which places excessive strain on the shoulder joint. Keep your elbows at roughly a 45-degree angle from your body, not flaring straight out to the sides. An easier variation is to stand closer to the wall to reduce the load. A harder variation is to step further back or eventually progress to an incline push-up using a sturdy countertop. Now, I promised you a bonus tip, and here it is. And this single piece of advice might be more valuable than all 5 exercises combined. The number one reason people over 60 stop seeing results from exercise is not that they are doing the wrong exercises. It is that they are skipping the recovery. Here is the truth that most fitness content ignores. Your muscles do not actually grow during exercise. They grow during rest. When you strength train, you are creating tiny, controlled amounts of stress in the muscle fibers. Then, over the next 48 to 72 hours, your body repairs those fibers and builds them back slightly stronger than before. Think of it like this. Exercise is the architect who draws up the plans, and rest is the construction crew who actually builds the structure. Without the construction crew, you never get the building. After 60, your body needs a minimum of 48 hours between training the same muscle group. So if you do these exercises on Monday, give those muscles until at least Wednesday before you train them again. In the meantime, stay active with light walking, gentle stretching, or a short swim. Consistency over time, not intensity in the moment, is what produces lasting transformation. Now, I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest obstacle to staying consistent with exercise? And which of these 5 movements are you most excited to try? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read and respond to every single one. If this video helped you, send it to someone you care about. And if you want to go even further, click on this video right here. I will show you the 5 simple movements that can work even better than walking for strength, balance, and mobility after 65. It is perfect for anyone over 60 who wants to stay active, steady, and independent every single day. I will see you there. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, keep moving, and as always, stay healthy.